Welcome to the Happy Disruptors podcast. If you're a creative thinker with an unconventional approach to your industry, you just might be a happy disruptor. Join your friends at the Great Outdoors Foundation for honest conversations about tackling critical issues like conservation with an uncritical disposition. If you like to smile and get things done, this is the podcast for you.
Hello and welcome to the Happy Disruptors podcast. I'm Katie and I'm so excited to be continuing our Meet the Board series. We've got a great guest today, but before we jump in, I do just want to say a very special thank you to the team at Williams & Jensen. They are today's episode sponsor. And also want to give a shout out to Frank because I know he is a faithful listener of the Happy Disruptors podcast. So thanks again to everyone at Williams & Jensen for supporting our work. Without further ado, I will turn it over to Joey, our guest for today. Joey, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I would love to. Thank you, Katie.
Absolutely.
I'm Joey Taylor Moon, and I work at Hubble Realty Company, and I oversee all the marketing and communications there. Have been there for about 9.5 years now, and have truly enjoyed my time there and getting to merge all things marketing and real estate into this wonderful city of ours. And it's been great. Love what I do and love being able to help people and build community.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Well, Joey, aside from serving on the board of directors, has also served on our marketing committee for many years, my entire tenure with GOF. So I feel like I have benefited so much from your expertise and your just how rooted you are in the community. So I would definitely emphasize your community building element of your career. Excellent. Well, the Great Outdoors Foundation has a really diverse board of directors, and I love that about our board. You know, we don't really have a typical makeup of a lot of conservation professionals. I think maybe only one or two of them fit that conventional profile. So what motivated you to personally get involved with the organization?
Yeah. I think, what truly motivates me with regards to the Great Outdoors Foundation is understanding how it can contribute to so many different lives, as well as what we are able to bring and make happen within communities, right? When we do work, for Hubble, for example, we're constantly thinking about how can we better developments, communities, build community within our cities to bring new people, to the communities, but also how do we continue to make them want to interact within our communities? Yeah. And I think that that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I love contributing and being part of the Great Outdoors Foundation is that it has a wonderful tie to all the things that I do at Hubble Realty Company. But as someone who truly enjoys just being outdoors, whether it's simple things as far as just going for a walk on the trail, or perhaps it's going camping with the kids, or canoeing, or interacting in some way, shape, or form. It brings to life all of those elements. And I've been fortunate to be able to have access to all of those things, but not everybody within our community has. So how do we bring those things forward that are able to produce opportunities for everyone to interact within our communities?
Absolutely. And I know you're a native Iowan, grew up in rural Iowa.
I did.
Tell us a little bit about how, you've mentioned a few examples, but how do you like to connect with the great outdoors? What are maybe some of your favorite activities?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say from an activity standpoint, I am fortunate that I live next to Jester Park.
Yes.
And so we will casually go up there and just pop up for an hour to go walk on some trails. In the winter, we go snowshoeing all the time. We use the sledding hill by the Nature's Lodge. All of those are probably, some of the more welcomed and often used paths. But, I did growing up in a rural community, I was camping as a child all the time. Love camping. And whether that's tent camping or the more bougie camping.
Glamping.
Right? The glamping. Both are wonderful, but I enjoy all types. We do bicycle rides. I also am active, like as far as motorcycle riding and those kinds of things, which as long as I can have kind of the wind blowing in my face,
Yeah.
I don't really care what the activity is. Sun, wind, you know, and really just kind of soaking in all of that vitamin D really just makes my heart happy, I guess.
Absolutely. And it makes total sense to me that then you would want to be a part of an initiative to make sure that the same experiences were available to everyone in the community.
Yes.
And Jester Park is certainly a gem. I mean, we are so fortunate to have that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Joey, as you already know, 3 of GOF's values are innovation, collaboration, and stewardship, and we really use those to frame all of the work that we do. Does one of those resonate with you, maybe more than the others, or which of them really speaks to you?
Yeah. I think really, you know, I mean, obviously they're connectors and staples for you guys as far as an organization is concerned. When I look at it, probably the one that resonates with me the most is stewardship. And knowing that, you know, whether it's private or public, right? Whether it is, you know, federal, state, we need to have stewardship and positive communication, positive movement, and proactivity in all the things that we're doing. So I think that's one of the biggest things is that the Great Outdoors Foundation has really embodied that in knowing that it takes everyone coming to the table and being stewards of the initiatives that we're trying to push forth in order for us to be proactive and be able to move things forward. And I think that that's one of the things that I really do enjoy and love having as, you know, kind of a leg on the stool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And knowing that we are here, we're making change, and we know that it takes more than just one organization to make that happen.
Definitely. And I would imagine, you know, as a parent, a layer of that stewardship is protecting our natural heritage for the next generation. Is that something that speaks to you as well?
Absolutely. You know, I kind of jokingly tell this story frequently, you know, like I cloth diapered my children, and I know that some people think that that's absolutely crazy, and that's okay. But for me, it was one of those things that I knew I could make an impact. And that was one way that I could control the impact that I made. So being a positive steward in that regard helped me feel like I was giving something back. Right?
Absolutely.
It's kind of like you know, when people donate blood, right? And maybe you don't have tons of money to be able to give back. Well, being able to give blood, however, is being a positive steward of giving back, just in a different way.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's something that we are constantly trying to remind ourselves of and remind our stakeholders of when you are facing a really substantial challenge or opportunity like water quality or just conservation in general. It can feel sort of like, man, what can I do as just one person? But that really, I think it takes away some of our autonomy in participating in the solution. So I did not know that you cloth diapered that. You are a real hero. But yeah, we all can play a role, and whether it is your time or your talents, your investments, all of those layered together are how we move the needle on some of these critical issues. Okay, so shifting gears just slightly, you've been a board member, I think, since 2020, maybe.
Yeah.
So quite
during COVID,
quite a time to be coming on board.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you think it looks like for a board member to play an active role in the mission of the organization it serves.
Yeah, I think being an active member, you know, it's showing up. It's being able to help lend your expertise and your knowledge, right? You know, we talk about it a lot because of the marketing side and our love and passion there.
Absolutely.
Right? I might not be as knowledgeable as others in other areas, but I love being able to show up and deliver and provide what I can from my skills, my knowledge, time, and also, you know, one of the things when I was kind of thinking through this, having the ability to challenge, right? And it's it's being okay with, as a board member, you know, when you guys present ideas to us and we love them, you know, and you guys are such a strong community that allows everyone to build. right? But sometimes we might have some ideas or different layers to maybe put a cherry on top or something to that nature. And being okay with kind of challenging those things. I honestly think one of the greatest people that I've interacted with on our board was Tom Mahoney.
Yeah.
In that regard, he was so cognizant of what he said, so purposeful about, just being patient for the right time. And it wasn't a criticism by any means, but it was simply a, and then scenario. Have you thought about how this type of interaction could be?
Yeah.
And, I think we all come from different walks of life and learn different things, have experienced different things within our jobs, careers, paths, that having that confidence and knowing that you're comfortable with the board interactions, that you're adding value in that way as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we as a staff value that, and I know that we as a staff value that so much too, because, we're a relatively small team for the work that we are doing, and having that external perspective and context, asking those challenging questions that might pull back a layer that we hadn't considered before. All of that is so critical, and I think we're really fortunate that our board does that in a very constructive way.
Yeah.
So even if there is a situation where it's like, okay, we need to rethink this initiative, or we need to adjust how we're going about this situation, I can think of very few scenarios where it's just been a hard no.
Right.
Which is really cool. It's just a cool experience to be a part of, because I think that's where our best ideas come from, are when we have that gentle pushback, that like good kind of friction to sand down the rough edges of the overall concept. So I love that and appreciate it.
Yeah. I truly look at that as it's collaboration at its finest.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
We don't have to agree on everything, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that I feel like our entire board and the staff work and meld so well together in that regard, it's just, it's something that I've not experienced in most board situations. So I truly enjoy it.
Yeah. And it is a great bunch. And Tom Mahoney is just
phenomenal.
One of the absolute best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Okay. So kind of building off of that a little bit, what recommendation would you make to someone who's wanting to get involved either on a board or in another volunteer role, kind of dipping their toe in the nonprofit sector?
I think that find a board that you're either passionate about or that you enjoy what they do. And I think that's what makes it so easy for me to love being part of the Great Outdoors Foundation. Because I believe in the mission, truly believe that because of the impact that the team is making and the organization is making within our city, is beneficial, not for me personally, not only for me personally, but also from a professional standpoint too. I love the value that it adds for our overall organization. And, I think being able to give back in that regard with things that already seem very natural or second nature makes it much easier than something that maybe is like, ugh, I've got to go to that board meeting today. And maybe you're not as upbeat and as excited.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Whether it's committees that I serve on or, attending the board meetings.
Right.
I go with enthusiasm and excitement and want to learn what new and exciting things that I don't know about yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that our hope is that with these volunteer opportunities, it's sort of this mutually beneficial relationship where, we've talked already about how much our staff benefits from the insight and perspective of the board. But hopefully it is something that is rewarding and fulfilling for those who are serving as well. And I think that's the case whether you're involved with GOF or one of the other. There's so many incredible nonprofits operating in our region. So, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Okay, Joy, I'm going to throw you a question that
Okay.
wasn't on our original list, but
All right.
I think you'll nail it.
All right.
Reflecting on your time with GOF, what is maybe the initiative or project that you are most proud of?
That's a tough one because there's been so amazing, there's been so many amazing ones.
Yes.
I think that as we focus on kind of the future state, right? Because I'm always kind of looking forward to the future.
Yeah.
Right. We've done some wonderful and amazing things. Continue to do some wonderful and amazing things, whether it's with Polk County and supporting initiatives there, whether it's the Wild Prairie Showdown and the launch of that and getting to be one of the original participants.
exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. But I think the future state and what we can help to do and the impact that we will make as far as water quality is concerned in the state of Iowa is critical.
Most definitely.
You know, and knowing that, you know, I did grow up on a farm. I remember, you know, the tiled waterways and watching the runoff and, you know, all of those things happening. I feel like it gives me a little bit of insight to understanding from a farmer's perspective
Yeah.
what that looks like, but also knowing that there are impacts that we can make. But back to the point of the fact that not one person is going to be able to make that impact. It's going to require many, federal, state, county, like it on down the trail,
Right.
including our farmers. And how can we continue to spread the voice with regards to the impact that we can make and how we can also be that connector in making those initiatives actually come true. Because I think the value that the Great Outdoors provides, you know, in that is that you guys are such an amazing connector and have the ability to rally around a single initiative and make things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, first, that's very kind of you to say, but I would agree there's, it seems like there's just this energy around water quality right now.
Yeah.
And it, you know, certainly we have lots of progress left to be made. But I think that it has risen to such a level of awareness and engagement that we haven't seen, at least in my time in the state, I haven't seen just so much momentum around it. So I'm really excited about what we'll be able to do, what our partners will be able to do, and just seeing some of these, you know, initiatives that have been in the works for many years come to fruition. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, anything else you want to add before we move into our final segment? Let's whiteboard it.
No.
Okay. Well, next to you, you have a whiteboard and a marker.
All right.
So we end each episode with an off-the-cuff question. And you know we have whiteboards all over the office. We love to whiteboard issues. So you can either write or draw your response to this question.
Okay.
So my question for you, Joey, is what is something you think people get wrong about conservation? And while Joey is writing or drawing her response, make sure to like and subscribe wherever you are listening. As a reminder, this is one part of a mini part. I think we're on part 6 of our Meet the Board series. So would encourage you to go back and listen to any of those episodes that you've missed. We have such an incredible board of directors and really couldn't do the work that we do every day without them. You can follow along with what we're doing on all major social platforms and make sure that you are subscribed to our monthly newsletter. You can do that at greatoutdoorsfoundation.org. All right. Did I give you enough time?
Yeah.
Okay. What do people get wrong about conservation?
I think knowing what conservation really is.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And again, I think that's not necessarily a negative or a fault.
Yeah.
Right? And I think part of that is because conservation can be so many different things to so many people that it becomes this broader conversation. You know, when we talk about conservation, we're a lot of times talking about it in a very broad spectrum.
Right.
Right. But we also talk a lot about water quality. And I think that there's a misconception of what conservation can be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So.
And it can feel kind of like ethereal, like
Yes.
out there.
very theoretical.
It's hard to, like hard to grab onto, put some handles on. Yeah, I would agree completely. So, okay, now I'm going to put you on the spot again. What does conservation mean to you?
I would say conservation to me looks at it from a couple of different avenues, right? It's how can we conserve, right? How can we conserve our natural resources that we have?
Yes.
How can we conserve our resources that we have specifically in Iowa,
Yeah.
right? Instead of, I had to explain to my kids the other day when I said, it's like the ozone,
Yeah.
you understanding what plastic forks do.
Yes.
Right? And apparently I had not done this before. And, I'm like, it's ruining our ozone, and talking to them about that. And I'm like, you put a plastic fork in the landfill, it's there it will be there until you have passed.
Yeah. Many years after.
Many years after. And, talking to them about that. But it's also, our water quality. How do we focus on that? What do we do? Upstream, downstream, variety of different things.
Yeah.
And again, because conservation is such a broad stroke as far as what it is and can be, I think that there's oftentimes misconceptions of, ooh, if I say this, is it right?
Yeah.
Or do I know what it means? So to actually tell you what the definition is, I probably would not be the best person.
Oh, but I love just looking at it. I mean, conservation to conserve.
Right.
Absolutely. Like that is really, that's at the core of what we're doing.
Right.
Absolutely. And I think everybody can get on board with that.
Yeah. So I'm going to simply say to conserve.
Fantastic.
To be mindful.
Yes, absolutely. And a great call to action for all of us.
Yes.
Everyone can kind of take maybe one step.
A baby step.
In conservation.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be a massive step. A baby step that everyone feels comfortable with implementing will make an impact.
Most definitely.
And if nothing else, it's going to make you feel better.
Yeah.
When you make the choices.
Most definitely. I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining, Joey. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for having me.